We have some stories to get into today, guys, so I'm going to go past the whole intro and all that stuff, and we're just going to jump right into it. I want to start by talking about little Tay. Several years ago, when she was 9 years old, she did flexing videos with her brother, and she just blew up overnight, became widely popular. She did the whole rap thing. She was 9 years old. They would do these flexing videos. It was a big deal. TAY'S had posted a video recently talking about her, and that's how he had said he had gotten his big start, doing videos talking about this girl, little Tay, and doing the little rap thing. And I had even watched some of her videos too, just out of curiosity, because on August 9th, Wednesday, it was posted on her Instagram after many, many years of being radio silent that little Tay had passed away at age 14 and her brother at age 21, and that the family was just grieving and didn't want to go into detail, and just to, respectfully give them peace so they can wrap their heads around what had happened. Everyone was floored. Hadn't heard a thing from this young lady. I mean, she was huge for a hot second, for that flash of a moment, and then was gone. There was some custody battle going on, a lot of conspiracy theories happening, a lot of people chattering and talking about what may have happened, and just a lot of people who are really just surprised and saddened because 14 years old, I mean, that's like, it's tragic regardless, but when it's someone who's incredibly young, 14, 21, there's something that makes it just that much more heartbreaking, that much more gut-wrenching. So there were a lot of people talking about it, understandably. I myself didn't know a whole lot about this. I remember seeing her face, because when I saw the photos, very familiar, so I know I had recollection of her, but I didn't really listen to the music. I didn't really watch the flexing videos so much, so that it was kind of all new to me, but I did watch a lot of the videos that were being posted about her and just kind of got caught up on it. TMZ did some breaking news on little Tay, and that's what I want to share with you guys right now. So let's hop into this real quick. It says the exclusive. It says, little Tay, I am not dead. She is alive. So social media personality little Tay is very much still alive, claiming that her Instagram account was compromised and used to spread jarring information about her and her brother's death. In a statement provided to TMZ from little Tay's family, she tells TMZ, I want to make it clear that my brother and I are safe and alive, but I am completely heartbroken and struggling even to find the right words to say. It's been very traumatizing this past 24 hours, and all day yesterday I was bombarded by endless, heartbreaking, tearful phone calls from loved ones trying to sort out this mess. She also said that her Instagram account was compromised by a third party and used to spread this information and rumors about her, to the point that they even got her name wrong. Her legal name is Tay Tran, not Claire Hoax. So she says thanks to Meta for getting her account back, and she immediately took down the phony death statement. It's still unclear why it took Tay 24 hours to get the word out that she's alive, especially because she says that she was aware her account had been hacked and was getting phone calls about her death. On Wednesday, TMZ contacted the police in Vancouver area, and as well as the family members, and they were totally in the dark and knew nothing of her passing. Little Tay got her fame as the world's youngest flexer and rapped and showed off her lavish lifestyle across social media. And she garnered 3.2 million followers on Instagram, but she hadn't posted on that account since 2018. Someone decided to go in there and hack her account and post this tragic story about her and her brother passing, but it's still not clear who and why. There's still a lot of mystery surrounding the whole thing, and it just hasn't become clear yet. But as things unfold, I'll keep you guys posted. But I want to know your guys' thoughts about it. It's a shocking story, whether you knew anything about little Tay or not. The idea that someone could actually get onto this person's account and post this and get the entire of social media talking about her. Is it possible? Because the family is known for stunts. I watched a TAY'S talking about it on his video, that they're kind of known for doing things to get people's attention. And I watched another person as well who had done the breaking news on it. I forget the name. I'll post it up here so you guys can see. And they had alluded to the same thing too, that maybe it was like a publicity stunt of some sort to get her back out in the public eye. I mean, I don't know, but let me know in the comments. What do you think? The next story I want to talk about is Jaclyn Hill shutting down her brands. She is closing down her jewelry line. She's closing down her clothing line. The whole Co's brand, everything is being shut down. And I had done a video on that saying that she had trademarked it. She never trademarked it, but the young lady who started it and built her whole brand on it, I don't think she's going to fight for it at this point or go back to it. I think that's the most tragic part of the whole thing, is that Jaclyn Hill had the backing to go ahead and do this. She had the money and all that to, grab this name from her and use it, and she didn't even really care about the whole thing. She'd come out with a video talking about it and how she wants to, pivot and go in another direction and start doing, collabs again and go back to her makeup roots, but she never really wanted to be known for the blanket girl. Okay, so I'm sitting here and all I could feel is compassion for the young lady who worked her ass off to make a brand out of Co's who can't use it because it's already, you know, and it's hard to have compassion for Jacqueline, you know, considering that she's done so many things that are just like snaky and just wrong, and it's just taken the low road. And Marlena had also done some posts herself, and rightly so. She was burned by Jacqueline for a ridiculous amount of money when they had that collab together that went south because Jacqueline decided to just completely leave her in the dust, just left her high and dry. I mean, let's be real. That's what she did. This supposed person that was like her friend, and that's how she treated someone who was her friend. Imagine how she is with her enemies. I don't know. I'm on a whole different tangent, but there were posts going up from Marlena talking about, you know, like you could tell her feelings were like, you know, justice is, you know, being served, and here you go. The brands did not do well. People weren't buying from them, and when they did, the product wasn't living up to the price. It's just as simple as that. High markups for low quality stuff, and it just couldn't make it. So now she's shutting them down. You're going to see a lot of things going on sale. So if you were curious and you wanted to try something from the brand, but you didn't want to spend the big dollar for what you were getting, you're going to be able to get it for pretty cheap because it's going to be closing in the next, she said, keep an eye out. In the next 2 months is when the real sales are going to start to take off. But I'm curious to know your thoughts. Are you going to be buying anything from Jaclyn Hill's brand, just even when it goes on sale out of curiosity? You're going to try getting anything? I want to know what you think about it. The whole thing is an absolute mess. I already have a certain kind of feeling about Jaclyn Hill and her antics, so for me it's like, I'm not really surprised. I can remember a time where she did get me with the whole sob story where I did have like, oh, you know, I felt for her. And then the very next day she's like trying to sell something. And that's another thing she was saying in her videos, that she doesn't want to be like the salesperson anymore. And I have this feeling, here's my theory. She's going to shut down her businesses and she's trying to gain compassion from her subscribers, and then she's going to come out with some kind of like, and now I'm selling this, and I'm telling you, I will not be even remotely surprised to see her come out with some new thing that she's trying to go ahead and like push on everybody. You know, I'm foreshadowing, and if it happens, I'll be like, we were there. We were talking about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. The next thing I want to talk about is Ethan Klein. So, well, Ethan Klein, but also a Twitch streamer that decided to go on his podcast. What was it? August 9th, I want to say this happened. xQc, I believe he's in Vancouver, and he is a Twitch streamer. He went ahead and he hit up Ethan on Twitter and said, hey, debate me, basically. He was like, debate me, old man, or some shit like that. I don't know. Listen, right off the bat, bad idea. One of the things I could say about Ethan Klein, he's entertaining, but he's very lawyer debate savvy. He is not someone that you want to go toe to toe with unless you are fully prepared to do that, because he will come at you with all kinds of, he prepares for these things. That's what he does. It's what he's known for. And currently the video that they streamed together debating is at 1 million views, like 2 days later after streaming, because it went off. I was watching this thing, I'm telling you, there are a couple of videos that Ethan Klein has done, some of these debates, like with all things Pearly, this kid Sebastian, he's like the alpha male. This xQc one now is just like, there are some highlight videos that he's done. I could watch them over and over and over again and be incredibly entertained by them. Well, anyway, this kid comes out and he's trying to debate Ethan. It goes horribly awry. I mean, this kid, I started to feel embarrassed for him. It was terrible. Now, Ethan does have a way of like talking over people and kind of bulldozing the conversation. And again, it's like I said, if you're not savvy enough, he's going to make you look like a complete moron. So you really have to stay on your game. Well, this kid started to crumble and it didn't go well. And the whole debate that they were really having was about the whole reaction thing. And Sniper Wolf has been under fire about this too. And it's about these people that do these reaction videos without adding anything to the content and not crediting the people who are, you know, being reacted to. Their videos are just up and it's literally, they're just playing the video, watching it, and they're getting views off of content that they're not really creating themselves. They're not adding anything to it. They're not really adding a lot of commentary. So I've watched a lot of Sniper Wolf videos and I think she's cute and entertaining, but I can see I can see the point. There's another person who's come for her. I think it's, I'm going to have to put the name up, JJ videos, something like that. I'm going to get it totally wrong. But this guy came out and he's doing commentary videos with her videos now. And they had a little battle on Twitter and it was a whole freaking thing. I can see the point. I can see how it would be frustrating to have your content put up there by someone who's larger than you and not have any kind of, nothing but maybe like a blip in the description box below, but no real, nothing. And for a lot of people who do that, there's a trade-off involved with, they'll mention them, they'll give them a shout out, and they get subscribers for it. So it's like, you know, the quid pro quo, and it works and it's fine. Well, this kid is like Sniper Wolf, and he doesn't do that either. He just does the reaction thing and doesn't really lend anything to it. So they had this big battle over it, and it was just awful. It got to the point where the kid was so broken down in the video, just to try and steer the conversation. Not only did he say bad things about their business, Teddy Fresh, that brought Ethan's wife out there to defend their company, but he also decided to try and get the audience to pay attention to him by doing the worm on the floor in his room. It was not a good look. It all went south pretty quickly for this kid. And then later on that evening, it was about, Ethan said it was like 11, 12 at night, starts blowing him up on Twitter and just basically sending him all these like hateful, mean messages that Ethan decides to go ahead and post publicly. He's DMing him, and as the DMs are coming in and they're having this back and forth, he's posting it online for everyone to see. It just really furthered the embarrassment and the problems for this kid, and I'm just kind of like embarrassed for him. The whole thing was just mind-blowing. If you get the chance to see it, just out of curiosity, to watch how this kid debates, it's like, I can say a kid, he's like 38 years old, but to me, I'm like much older, so he's a kid. It's impressive. Never underestimate your opponent, because I'm telling you, he underestimated him, and it just, yeah, it didn't go. Just thinking about it. And something I also saw is that Trisha Paytas has Holly Madison on her podcast. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to check it out. Holly Madison is doing a new podcast with Bridget, and they are talking about their experiences going back over the seasons and things that they did in the life that they had when they were living at the Playboy Mansion. And I've watched quite a few of them and listened to a few of them as well. They have ones where it's just, you know, a picture where they're just like for driving or whatever, and you're listening to, and then they have some they posted where they're literally sitting there talking. And I usually prefer those because I like to see the people as opposed to just a photo that's up, and for some reason just it's a lot more engaging for me. But even the ones where they're just chatting, it's, you know, for a listen, it's very interesting. I'm going to talk about it in a later video. I'm not going to go too in depth, but I'm looking forward to seeing how that went, the story itself. And since Hugh Hefner's passing, all of the things that have been coming out about the Playboy Mansion, all the real things that we weren't privy to until his passing have been, I've watched a lot of those shows where they're talking about the Playboy Mansion and things that occurred there, and it's shocking. And to hear it from Holly and to hear from Bridget, you don't really hear a lot from Kendra. I did see an interview on her, and she's more doing real estate and talking about her kids now, and she's a single mom, and she's, you know, trying to do that. She has her own little show that she's doing there. Yeah, the perspectives are very interesting. You got, you know, the point of view of someone who has like happy memories, and then you got the point of view of someone who has very unhappy memories, and you can tell, you can feel and see the anger. But I'm going to save that for a later video. I'm probably going to check out Trisha's podcast and see how it all shook out. It's very interesting because I used to watch the show many years ago when it came out, when I was much younger, and seeing it through those eyes then and how I think about it now, completely different. So that'll be for a later video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's go ahead and chat about it. And yeah, that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.